The studio lights burned bright, cameras rolled, and the world seemed to pause for a moment as a shocking headline ripped across social media feeds. Charlie Kirk sues The View hosts for $100 million. In the chaos of reactions, one voice cut through the noise with the kind of raw honesty that only he could deliver: Joe Rogan. And when Joe mocked the daytime hosts who had become infamous for their heated takes, the internet erupted like a wildfire. The story began with Charlie Kirk, a polarizing figure in American politics, stepping into a fight that many thought he would never dare. For years he had been criticized, ridiculed, and even defamed by certain voices in mainstream media. But this time was different. After a particularly heated segment on The View, where the hosts made bold accusations about Kirk's organization and motives, he decided enough was enough. Backed by a team of sharp attorneys, he filed a lawsuit worth $100 million, a number so staggering it immediately drew national attention. But while the legal battle unfolded in hushed tones within courtroom corridors, the cultural fight was raging elsewhere. Enter Joe Rogan. Sitting in his dimly lit podcast studio, microphone in hand, Joe didn't hold back. He laughed at the absurdity of the drama, shaking his head as he mocked the daytime hosts for acting like courtroom experts one moment and entertainers the next. His humor was sharp, biting, yet oddly refreshing. To millions listening, Joe's commentary wasn't just funny. It felt like someone finally saying what they had been thinking all along. Still, beneath the jokes, there was something deeper happening. This wasn't just about Kirk or even The View. It was about a nation divided, where people no longer trusted what they saw on TV, and where lawsuits became the battlefield for truth. Joe's mockery resonated because it cut through the polished talking points and exposed the raw human flaws of people who thought they were untouchable. For Charlie Kirk, however, the fight was more personal. He wasn't just chasing money, he was fighting for his reputation, for his supporters who believed in him, and for the idea that ordinary people shouldn't be trampled by powerful platforms. The lawsuit became a symbol of resistance against media giants who thought they could say anything without consequence. But the emotional weight of the story fell not on the lawsuit, nor even Joe's jokes, but on what came next. Millions of Americans began to ask themselves, what happened to truth? When did conversations become weapons? Why do we cheer for lawsuits instead of dialogue? Joe, despite his humor, reflected on this too during his podcast. Between the laughter, he admitted, "We're at a point where people would rather destroy each other in court than sit down and talk it out. That's sad, man. That's not how we grow." His words struck a chord. Suddenly, the mocking turned into a lesson, a reminder that while entertainment might give us laughs, real progress requires courage, empathy, and an open mind. Weeks later, as the lawsuit dragged on, America found itself glued to the spectacle. Supporters of Kirk saw him as a warrior taking on the establishment. Critics called it a stunt. But everyone agreed on one thing: Joe Rogan's take had changed the conversation. He had mocked the arrogance, poked fun at the absurdity, but also reminded people of a truth too often forgotten, that respect and understanding were worth more than any lawsuit. In the end, whether Charlie Kirk won or lost the case almost didn't matter. What mattered was the fire it lit. People began demanding more accountability from the media, more honesty in public discourse, and more willingness to laugh at the circus of politics instead of letting it divide them. And so, the story closed. Not with a courtroom verdict, but with a powerful message echoing from Rogan's mic to millions of ears. Don't let them control the way you think. Don't get lost in the noise. Learn to laugh, but also learn to listen. It was in that balance between laughter and truth that America found a glimmer of hope, even in the middle of its loudest battles.
Ways. Gana, I won't get back Marcos or that joy is how it's talking. They could